You are now watching a Lucky Penny Shop product feature.
Hey, it's Lucky Penny Shop. Thanks for stopping by today. I am moving along on the Mousetrap series. I've done 4 of them. I think this is the 5th video. This is where it starts changing. This is 1984 Ideal. Looking forward to showing you the changes because this version has cheese. Now the box shows the same artwork but a new game board, and you'll see there are going to be spaces for the cheese. And it plays a little different in regards to what you do with the crank at the end when you're trying to capture, when you crank it and then capture the mouse. And you can use your cheese. Here is the side panel of the box. I know I said it like, use your cheese. Don't know why I said it that way. 1984. Now, I go with the instructions usually, and the box dates, not the game board dates, but this should possibly have a new date on it. There's the other panel. There's that panel. And it's a really dark box. It's black with a gray fade. It's kind of darker here, lighter over here in this corner. Got this at Goodwill for $6.99. That's pretty good. Those prices have been going up and up, so that was a pretty good deal at the time. Don't remember where. So this does say 1963. That would be the first one. And then 1984 CBS toys. The box, though, is the front is much darker on the top, and then it fades almost to a light purple. And you've got the cool inset, the Ideal logo. This is one of my favorite box artworks. And then you have the word Mousetrap in red with the little mouse as the A for in the A. The family game of zany action on a crazy contraption. It's fun to build this comical wonder, but woe to the mouse who gets caught under. Let's get it out of the box so we can learn more about it, and then I'll compare this game board to the previous one without the cheese. Okay, so what's going on in this box? This is the cheese. Now the cheese changed over the years. So if you go to my article, you'll see how the cheese has changed. This is black, little black holes in the cheese, Swiss cheese. And then it changes to brown, and then a little different artwork, and then the sizes of the piece change. The mechanics for the game change as well. Let's just see if I can pull it all out in one full swoop. Oh, there goes the diver. Whoa, way under my table. Get back up there. And this is without the spring. What else do we have in here? Oh, I don't want those balls rolling around. This is the burgundy ball, even though you see pink on the box. That's the color. In that article, I'll also show you 5 or 6 different colors that I have. And then let's just check out those instructions real quick. What years on these? Yep, so 1984. So basically, that's why I dated this one 1984. This rubber band looks to be a little bit big, and the dice also changed. So it's small here. One of them had a red die, and then another one had a bigger white die. Let's see what we got going here. Let's do the game board. How's that? Game board first. Okay, this said missing cheese, but I have replaced the cheese, so the cheese should be complete. And then here is the game board. Oh, I got sticky tabs everywhere. Okay, how about I just grab the other game board? You will see, take one piece of cheese down here. Is the camera zoomed down all the way? No, that's better. One piece of cheese. Lose 2 pieces of cheese. Take 3 pieces of cheese from rival with the most. And then you have one more, take 2 pieces of cheese right before you enter the cheese wheel. And there's the safe spot, they call it. Let me grab that other game board. All right, 2 completely different game boards now. This one is dated 1970 to 1963 because 1970, down here, you can't see it, was when they switched to this smaller version compared to the 1963 version. Now I have all of this in the article. You have to go watch, go read it and check it out, or go watch all the videos going to the first video to this one, and it'll get you up to speed on the differences. And then this one, of course, was dated 1984. That's when they changed it. Now you're going to see some differences besides color. The 1970 version is mainly white with a blue intersection, and of course all the spaces going around, and then this white almost like outline of the pieces. And the newer version, this 84 version, is a dark blue But there's blue, like a light blue center section where the pieces go. The word mousetrap's in the middle, which you do not see here, and the spaces are all different colors. You have the start, the to, the take the cheeses. Now the twos, the 2, 3, 4s, the 2, 3s, the 2, 3, 4s, the twos, that's all different in the game now. So let's just figure this out here. For 2 to 4 players. Here's how it actually works. Player turns crank A, which rotates against B, causing lever C to move and push stop sign against shoe D. Shoe tips bucket holding metal ball E. Ball rolls down rickety stairs F and into rainpipe G, which leads it to hit helping hand rod H. This causes bowling ball I to fall from top of helping hand rod through thingamajig J and bathtub K to land on the diving board L. Weight of bowling ball catapults diver M through the air and right into washtub N, causing cage O to fall from top of post P and trap unsuspecting mouse. Now this should be pretty much the same here. Here's the object of the game. The object of the mousetrap is to build a wacky contraption following the building plan and then to use it to trap the mice of the other players. There's the contents. Here's the setup. This sets up the same. You put the board in the middle, then you put the pieces around it, and then everybody starts on the space marked start. On your turn, toss a die and move your mouse to the number of spaces indicated. Then carry out any instructions printed in the space landed upon. Now here's the build spaces. This is where the two games are completely different. Build spaces are the ones with only numbers in them, 2, 2, 3, or 2, 3, 4. If you land on a build space and the number of players in the game matches one of the numbers in the space, then you may build one piece of the mousetrap. For example, if 4 people are playing, you would build a piece of the mousetrap only when landing on a build space in which 4 appears. So if you land here and there's 4 players, you wouldn't put a piece on. You only build when you land on those. Completely different gameplay. If 2 people are playing, you would build when landing on a build space in which a 2 appears. Parts must be taken and built in numerical order. Build the mousetrap by placing the numbered part in its proper position following the building plan, which should be in here. Here's the building plan. So that's the same. Goes all the way to the cage. Okay. For example, if you're the first player to land on a legal build space, you would place part number 1, base A, on the board. The next player to land on a legal build space would position part 2, gear support, into place, and so on until the mousetrap is completed. When you finish positioning a part of the mousetrap on the game board, take 1 cheese card from the pile. So every time you put a piece in, you get a piece of cheese. Here's the cheese. Okay? Once the mousetrap is completed, nothing occurs when you land on a build space. Go back, move ahead, and go to cheese. When you land on any of the spaces, you must go to the space indicated, but do not follow any message printed in that space. Once the mousetrap is completed, nothing occurs when you land on a build space. Go back, move ahead, and go to cheese. When you land on one of these spaces, you must go to the space indicated, but do not follow any message printed in that space. Okay? Take cheese and lose cheese. When you land on one of these spaces, take or return the indicated number of cheese cards from or to the cheese card pile. If such a space requires you to return more cheese cards than you currently have, return as many as you hold. If you land on the cheese wheel, you automatically take 2 pieces of cheese. Where's the cheese wheel? Oh, it's over here. This is the cheese wheel. So if you land there, you could take 2 here if you land there and take 2 there when you land there. The thing about the cheese, it gets kind of a little ruthless if you got a lot of cheese. Once the mousetrap is completed, you use it to try to capture opposing mice. When you end your turn by landing on the turn crank space and there's an opposing mouse on the cheese wheel, turn the crank to set the mousetrap in motion. If the trap operates correctly, the opposing mice will be captured and the player owning it will be out of the game. Any cheese cards held by the captured player must be turned over to you. If the trap fails, the opposing player immediately moves his mouse to the safe space. Here's the ruthless part. You may only turn the crank when the mousetrap is completed. If more than 1 mouse is on the cheese wheel, they may all be captured or missed together. Moving opponent's mice. When you end your turn by landing on the turn crank space and there's no opposing mouse on the cheese wheel, you can move an opponent's mouse onto the cheese wheel to try to trap it. To do so, you must return a cheese card to a pile. So that's why collecting the cheese is important. Kind of makes it a little ruthless. You have 6 cheeses. I think you can just keep putting them in there. To do so, you must return a cheese card to a pile, select the opponent you wish to move, throw the die, and then move that opponent's mouse the indicated number of spaces. You may continue doing this as many times and as to many opponents as you like, as long as you have cheese cards to pay. If you manage to move an opponent's mouse or opponent's mice onto the cheese wheel, only then may you turn the crank. So someone's, say, further back of the cheese wheel, and you want to donate a cheese and then roll for them, you're going to try to get them in here to land on that cheese wheel. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of a completely different way of playing the game. Cheese cards may be used this way only when you're on the turn crank space. If one opponent's mouse is on the cheese wheel when you land on the turn crank space, you can still use your cheese cards to try and get other opponents' mice onto the cheese wheel before setting the mousetrap in motion. Wow. Safe. When you land on the safe space, you cannot be moved under any circumstances by an opposing player, and you're also protected from having to give cheese cards to opposing players. Winning the game. If your mouse is the last one on the board, you win. You win. You win. You win. Special rules and guidelines. The player who has just operated the mousetrap must reset the mousetrap should it fail to capture the opposing mouse. When placing bowling ball on thingamajig, make sure helping hand rod is loaded. Before operating the mousetrap, check to see if it will work properly. That is, check to see if metal balls and bucket. Okay, and you go through the whole list again. To reload cage, remove the cage post from cage base. Remove cage from the bottom. Reinsert cage post and place cage in position on top. Now that's very specific, and we've gone over this. And I'm almost thinking, oh man, I just dropped. Oh, I knew that was going to be a roll all the way over there. The big ball just dropped. I think the basket on this one should be orange, because everything else, there's no red pieces. So this one probably has the wrong basket. So when it's up here and then it falls here, they want you to lift this whole piece out and just do it from the bottom. Because to try to go this way, you kind of got to work your way up, and then it jiggles the whole set. All right, so let me get this game board out of here. Let's set this one up. Let's maybe do a faux gameplay. All right, so off camera I was thinking, whose idea was it to change the mousetrap game? I'm guessing it was a financial decision to come up with something different so that they can start reselling the mousetrap. People already had the other mousetrap, and now, we got a new version of it. You should grab it. That could be it. So part of the game is getting this piece in first. Now this piece is a little warped. Okay, and then that is the base A. Gear support. What I may do, I have not decided yet. Where's my gear support? There it is. Nope, that's not it. There it is. It's actually all together. So I'll just leave it because those are the next pieces that go on. Then it would be the gear, then the handle, and then the lower one. This is the lower gear. Now remember, you're doing this as you go along. I'm doing this because I'm here now and alone. This doesn't seem like it's correct. There, that's better. Okay. So yeah, you would be landing on, let's say, 2 players. All the ones with 2 players, you're going to add piece. If you're 3 players, then all the ones with 3, so you would not put a piece on here. And then if it's 4 players, only the ones that say 4 players. All right, then this piece and the rubber band, I'll just use this rubber band. It looks a little big. Let's see. Okay, so that's working. And I may forget something, even though I put this together more times than I could imagine. Now this boot looks like it's a little crooked. These rubber boots all seem to bend a little. Now that's going to kick that. Okay, stop sign hits the boot. Is the camera up all the way? Go a little higher. Let me get these balls out of here. Okay, so rubber band and stop sign go on one step. Then the lamppost, which I did. And then you put the boot on, which is already on. They call it a shoe. Then the stairs. So it's assemble legs of stairway is shown, and then press plugs into holes. So the tall ones go in the back. And then the little ones go on the bottom. And there's 4 holes. Okay. After the stair, it's you put the bucket. So you add the bucket and the metal ball, which I'll wait because I'm moving it around. I see these don't always stay in. And then insert metal ball. That's step 11. Step 12, base B. Okay. Step 13 is the rain gutter. So there's 2 little pins here, which can break. And there's 1 little hole there. Okay, so this part of it should work. Let's just test what we have, even though that's not part of the game. That worked good. Metal ball goes in there. Okay, so that works. Okay, so now step 13 was the rain gutter. Now I go over these in more detail in other videos. Step 14 is going to be this. Step 15 is the helping hand. Step 16 is the thingamajig. And then you put the ball in. Let's test this. This is crucial. Now this is without the spring. So this little hook needs to be on the hand. And then you'd put the ball on the top, which I'll wait. I won't test it just yet. We're almost done. Then the bathtub. I do have, now that I think about it, I'm looking for an orange cage to go with this one, which I don't have. That's why I have a red one. And then next is the diving board. Oh, the bathtub, yes. Then the diving board. That just sits on there. Step 19, the diving board. Step 20 is the man, which I'll wait to put him on. Step 21 is this, the cage base they call it. Step 22 is the wash tub. Step 23 is this. There we go. It does go in a certain way. Step 24 is the cage. There we go. So now we can put this up here. The diver in. Remember, you put the diver backwards, even though the box shows it the other way. And this gets that. Okay. That is set. Now you're going to tape your 4 mice. Now, I can't really do a gameplay on this, really, now that I think about it. It's really going to be hard to do with one person. I'm going to get Butch in here to play at least 1 or 2. I know I'll show it at the end here, another version which is not called Mousetrap, but I'll show it to you. Okay, so now that it's all built, you would do the gameplay and start collecting cheese. I think I do want to play this one with Butch, but I'll do a newer version with the cheese, but so you can see how it's played, and then we can have our little discussions. So let's just set this while we're here. Now remember, it's up to the person that sets it to do it right. Okay, so that would be a fail. Now, technically, if you turn this and kind of move it towards it a little, it should work. Oh, it didn't work. Let's try it again. This happens quite a bit. Okay, somebody would have been trapped. Let's do this one at a couple different angles. Some of you may be bored with me setting up mouse traps, but I feel if I don't complete this history, no one will ever know, because no one else has done it. And I like to do things that are complete. So remember, you take this off. You take it off from the bottom. Put this on. I wonder how many people actually follow that. Most people probably just pulled it from the top. Didn't really care. Let's put 2 in here. Now sometimes, depending on how everything moves, the little mice shift. So I thought, well, if the mouse is here and it's just his tail, he's not officially trapped. And if it's on his head, he can probably still get out. So he's got to be completely in the trap when it's set. Let me turn the camera this way. I mean the game this way, and I'll change the camera. Don't forget the metal ball. That's important, whoever's setting this up. Let me change the camera. Now the other version of the game called it a mean dog. This is a mad dog. Go back to X. Butch is not going to like being a mean dog. Or having a mean dog. Oops, things are falling. That was the box. Wait, is the camera back all the way? Yeah, it is. All right, here we go. Number 2. Let's test it. Ooh, wait a minute. So now is he completely trapped? Let's see if I can turn this without his nose. See, it's not totally flat. This is part of the rules. A mouse can easily shimmy under that if he needed to and work his way out. So is he trapped? I don't know. You'd have to argue that. Is that completely trapped? I don't know. How did you play it? Did you have rules about the mouse and the way to do that? Here, I can set it up this way. Let me reset it up. I'll come back. Okay, here we go. Hopefully the boot works. Okay, officially both got trapped. All right, I tell you, let me move this off to the side. I'm going to show you the game that's coming up with Butch. All right, now this one came out in 2024, but I think it'd be good to play with Butch because it's not really fitting in my series, but I wanted to get a copy of it, so I had it. Hasbro Gaming, ages 6+. This is Lucky's Leprechaun Trap. And you see Lucky the Leprechaun with his hat and his green outfit, and he's running, and mice bottom here left, and you got a rainbow through the middle. It says mousetrap in the top right corner with yellow, and the mouse part is actually looking like a cheese. It's got the little spots or holes, and then all the game pieces are green and red. They show the diver facing this way, but the instructions always show it the other way. And there isn't mice. There's little lucky leprechauns on stands with the little plastic bases. And the parts are light green, dark green, and red. Now it looks like it's going to play. No, it's actually totally different. This is like the newer version of 2024. There's a big pendulum that swings. This will be interesting to set up and play because it is a different setup, different game pieces. So we'll see how this one goes. So let me come back. I'm going to do the other one more time. Look for this one with Butch coming up. It'll just be mixed in all the other videos. I'll be right back. All right, one more time. Now, if anybody has an orange cage, let me know. I could have taken the orange cage from the previous one because that was orange, but I'm trying to keep my parts separate from game to game, so that's why I'm looking for an orange basket. It's on my eBay saved searches. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't a gameplay, but I walked through it. I think I may eventually play another version with the cheese with Butch. It plays the same as this. I don't want to come back to this one, but we'll see. Here we go. And thanks for watching, everybody. Later. Captured. If you're looking for the item you just saw in the video, click here. Watch more videos by clicking here. Don't forget to share on social media and give a thumbs up.
Hey, LPS Dave.
What's up, Butch?
Make sure they don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, please click here to subscribe to Lucky Penny Shop. And always remember, when you see a lucky penny,
Pick it up.